Hello friends, welcome to another fun session with me. This is the Twin Tangle series and we are already down 9 tiles. Thank you for all your comments and suggestions. I just wanted to mention that I understand many of you are not acquainted with the tangles that I use. Yes, although I have done almost covered all Zentangle original tangles in my older videos. However, I plan to do 180 shots for 180 tangles, Zentangle officials, probably next month. Yes, so I will be doing one shot per tangle and it will give you a quick glimpse into all the Zentangle original tangles, all 180 tangles, and depending on my convenience, probably I will be posting 3, 4 or 5 shots every day. Let's see how that unfolds, but yes, I do plan to do that for all my new followers. So that's about it. I just wanted to mention that. So I'm again going to pull out two random chits. I'm giving it a nice shuffle and now I'm going to pick two chits. Let's see what's in store for us today. So I have striping and I have XYP. Okay. So striping is a bold drama tangle and XYP is a kind of a border tangle, more or less a border tangle. So would be a nice combination. Let's get started with today's session. So I've added a light-handed border to start with and I'm going to use it as a reference for my XYP. Yes, so I'm going to start with these big X. They need not be equidistant. That's fine. They can be bigger, they can be smaller. Not an issue. I'm just going ahead and drawing some X as the tangle goes. X, Y, P. Yes. So once you're done drawing the X, the next step is to connect them. So you have to connect the X's in this fashion. The tangle pattern is called XYP. It's a border ribbon tangle. However, all depends on placement. You can always place it anywhere running in between your tile, need not always be used as a border. Yes, basically going by the nature of the tangle, it has been categorized as a border tangle. Right, we have connected. As far as the ends are concerned, I'm just going to round it. Added two curves at the corners. Then I'm switching to a finer nib because now what I have to do is add another diamond shape at each of these crossings. Yes, spaces are less, so I'm kind of switching between pens. So it's a diamond or a square, whatever you want to call it, but that's how you have to draw it at each of the crossings. You can rotate your tile whichever way you wish so that it is easier for you to draw. And the last side here. This is the basic framework of the tangle XYP. Right, now you have this in between empty spaces. It is up to you what do you want to add. So I'm going to add lines and then probably add fine lines on one side. So you can play around with this in between space and do a whole lot of things. Since we are doing tangles as they are, I'm not going to play around much and keep it close to what the original tangle is. Connecting like this, right? And what I was saying is either you can ink one section or you can just add fine lines like these. Yeah, you can also alternate the side of the lines. Let me do it on one side only. Yes, and to add a little more zen, you can also ink two of the sections like this. Yes, so adds a little more to the look of this tangle. So let's do that. Slowly take your time and do that for all. Yes, I'm going to do this exercise for all. Here, if you want, just add something like this, just an embellishment. Again, drawing lines, very fine lines using my O1 here. Spaces are small. Be patient, take your time. Yes, and then ink two sections. Like this. I will do exactly the same for the other two sides also. So this is how the Tangle XYP looks like. I've completed drawing my XYP. Beautiful tangle to draw. I'm now going to start with striping. As far as this tangle striping is concerned, as I mentioned, it is a drama tangle. You can use a random string and stripe each sections in a different direction and you're sorted. Nothing else required for striping. However, if you want some additional shading opportunities, then you can use special strings and even tangles and then stripe them, and when you shade it gives you a beautiful dimension. So what I'm going to do is start with two C shapes. You must have seen this string being used pretty often in various projects of Zentangle headquarters. So this is basically two C shapes with little weight at the ends, basically a rice shape being formed at the ends. Let me use my pen, ink it so it will be a little more clear. Yes. So this is basically a Me Too string used for a tangle called Me Too. I'm inking these sections, the rice shapes. Yes. And now I'm going to stripe it. Basically add auras till the time I fill all the space. How do we aura? I'm going to start from one side and then curl it in. So I'm going to add one aura to each, and I'm going to keep adding auras till I fill up entire space. So it will be basically equivalent to striping the string, and then we can comfortably ink alternate stripes to get that beautiful effect of striping the tangle. So the distance between the auras depends on how thick you want the stripes to be. If you want finer stripes, you can reduce the distance between the auras. If you want thicker stripes, you can increase the distance. But I'm going to go on like this slowly. Take your time, don't be in a hurry. It's all about auraing and then inking the auras to get those stripes. So as I mentioned, if you don't want to use a special, I forgot to do one thing. Probably it will be a good idea, since we are going to ink the stripes, it would be a good idea to add an inner aura to your XYP so that your stripes don't mingle with your border. Still not too late. Let's go ahead and do that exercise. Adding an inner aura to my XYP. Slowly take your time. Like this. Yes, and now we can continue adding the aura. One to each side. Slowly take your time. Again, keep rotating. Keep adding aura. There's also a special S string by CZT Margaret Bremer, I think, which is a beautiful string to stripe. Yeah, that's quite a bit of tongue twister. Right? So continue in this fashion till you fill up the entire space. Before we start to ink, yes, we will get some bit of a woven effect here. And then from this side, just keep changing the direction. You can stripe it, and then again. So since you know now how the lines are going to be like here, you can just go on and stripe it separately. Yes. So you can do that for each of these sections now, because you know the how the lines will actually look like. Slowly take your time. Don't be in a hurry. As far as possible, maintain similar distance between the auras so that the stripes are somewhat same, at least look the same in their width. Yes, now we know how to stripe this part. So we have to give that woven effect. Slowly go ahead, draw lines in both the directions. A very underrated tangle striping. Very simple tangle. Does not require any shape or space. You can fit it in any kind of a space. Just a random string is all that you need. Stripe the sections. Just make sure when you stripe them, the lines are in different directions, so that when you shade them, they give a beautiful dimension to your tile. Right? We are done with our striping. Yes, looks very simple right now, but yes, when we stripe it, we shall realize the beauty of this tangle. I mean, when we ink it, we have already striped it. I am starting to ink my stripes now. If you wish, you can always leave highlights. However, I would not do that. Instead, we will use our chalk pencil. I'm using my Micron 05. This is a little bolder nib. It will help me ink better. So slowly take your time and stripe, ink the stripes. Yes, you know how to ink. So leave one section. Again, the next pair of lines. Slowly go ahead and stripe. So striping is a bold drama tangle. It looks beautiful when you ink the stripes. However, there is always an option to not ink and instead add something else inside the stripes. But I would always want to ink the stripes because I love the drama. Yes, so you have to be patient. This is going to take a bit of time. Take your own time. Go around, take a break if you wish to. Come back, ink it nicely. Don't be in a hurry. Yes, so I'm still continuing to ink. Slowly take your time. Ink it nicely. Lots of inking there, but yes, that's what striping is all about. So be patient. I'm almost finishing one part of the tile, about half. Inking alternate sections. Yes, just a few left here. Yeah, that's it. I think we are done inking one side. Let's move on to the other side. Please take your own time, do it at your own pace, and I shall be back in a jiffy. Almost done. Yeah, that's it. We are done with our inking. If you want to redo this line from where we started, you can always revisit the line. So let us now move on to shading. Just give it a few minutes to dry up because it's a lot of inking. So let's start to shade now. So as far as shading is concerned, you have to add shadow here where lines seem to be going under. So you can go pretty hard Push the pencil hard. There is no need as such to add on the blacks, so you can skip or you can add it in this fashion. And then I'm going to go to the edges. As I mentioned, you can just add on the whites or you can just add overall, whichever way you feel like. Pushing my pencil hard. Make sure your ink has dried up, else it can smudge. So going to enclose my striping inside the XYP border and also add some shading to the intersections where lines are going over, under. That's how we are going to shade our striping. So I'm going pretty heavy handed on the edges, pushing my pencil hard using a darker pencil. You can use your layout pencil and pushing it hard here also. Let's now blend. So I'm going to pull it out like this, and then I'm going to pull it out from here like this. Pulling it out a little more, and then make sure you keep some section white, very important, and then blending the edges, pulling it out towards the center but making sure I don't make the entire thing gray. Like this. Yes. Simple tangle to draw, and you can already see how beautiful it looks like. Yes. Now the rest of the sections we can use our chalk to highlight wherever you can see the whites. They can be highlighted a little more with the chalk. So use your chalk pencil. You can use a different blending stub. You can add some highlight here, some highlight here. Just softening the chalk with my hands. And that's it. I don't think we need to do anything else. You want some black pearls floating around, please go ahead and do that. XYP can be outlined from outside also, so if you want to add an additional aura, you can do that outside also. It's quite small, I don't feel like shading it, but if you wish you can add a touch of shade. To your XYP also. That's entirely your choice. And we are done. Yes. So if you want, you can, as I mentioned, you can use a different blender and just make sure your chalk doesn't look cakey. So just soften it, merge it with the paper, and that's it. We don't need to do anything else. That's XYP and striping. Let's close our tile here. Put in your chop somewhere sitting cozily Always sign and date your tile. I shall see you again probably with few more sessions of the Twin Tangle series. Till then, have a good time. Bye bye.